Hello, Jovianna. How are you? I'm so happy that you're able to make it to another segment of Business Spotlight. Please tell us a little bit about you and your business and what you do and how long you've been in it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me today. I'm really grateful to be here. So, a little bit about what I do and how long I've been doing it. I am the founder and owner of Digital Forensics Now. At Digital Forensics, we provide digital forensics, cybersecurity, and IT solutions for business and government agencies. My company is dedicated to helping law firms and other businesses understand and investigate crimes. We're storytellers of end users' digital footprint. We love solving puzzles, teaching, asking questions, which is why the 5W is part of our company's mindset. We investigate and provide findings on the who, what, when, and where, and why for each incident. We help attorneys and businesses solve cybercrime, bring criminals to justice, and make our community a safer place. In addition to that, Digital Forensics Now was incorporated in 2017. Prior to that, I was in the legal industry for 20 years. I've always had the investigative mindset to help solve crimes and use technology to streamline the work. I've held many roles: paralegal, e-discovery specialist, forensic expert. In addition to that, I've attended trials, arbitrations, I've sat in the hot seat, I've helped attorneys find the smoking gun during their litigation proceedings. So my journey in the legal industry and technology industry has been great.
That's fascinating. That's great. And so tell us a little bit about what inspired you to get into this field. So when you were a little girl, were you thinking this is what I want to do, or did it find you?
Well, that's an interesting question. So when I was younger, I was aspiring to be an attorney. So I went and got my undergraduate in pre-law. And then I decided back in 2018, when I was working as a paralegal, because I went to school full time and held a paralegal position full time. And I got introduced into technology in 2008 and really into e-discovery. And I took a passion for technology. And in 2016, I made the transition fully into technology. So what inspired me was I wanted to make a change. I wanted to have an impact in our community. I wanted to have freedom. And being a business owner gives you freedom. It comes with challenges, but it gives you freedom. And that was what I was after, was freedom.
Yeah. That's great. And I definitely share that with you, the creating a big impact in the community. That's one of the reasons why I am a business coach, is because I like to impact the community for the positive, and obviously just helping business owners with their growth and how to achieve it so that they can then give back to the community as well. So
Yeah.
what would you say so far in this trajectory has been one of your greatest learnings? Actually, I know that there's several, I'm sure, but let's keep it to the top three. What would be your top three learnings so far?
I would say being accessible to your clients and to your team. And the name of the company is Digital Forensics Now. So the now means now.
Yeah.
It's a call to action for immediacy. So responding, picking up the phone, responding to the emails, providing solutions. For example, we have experienced on a Friday evening, we have a client that contacts us for an urgent work, and that must be performed before Monday. So we're problem solvers. We're here to help our clients find solutions and give them the peace of mind that the work will be done now. So definitely being accessible is number one. Number two is it's okay to transition as your company is growing and allow yourself to reinvent yourself. It's okay. You have to adapt to that because trends change, demands change. So I think that being adaptive is very important. And also, I would say, also as a business owner, is that you have to be a risk taker in the sense of of trying new things, of not letting fear block you, of just going for it. If you made the leap as a business owner, go for it, like from the get-go. So those are three things that I've learned as a business owner.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to figure out, right? When to jump on it and when to kind of think about it for a second and then jump on it. It's hard to gauge sometimes, but it's good to take the risks.
Yeah, well, the unknown, the uncertainty is scary, but you're never going to know whether you're good at it unless you try it.
Yeah. And then there's always the learning, right? That comes from, even if you do jump and then say that it doesn't pan out, you do get a lot of learnings from that. And then you can
Sure.
those learnings into your business. So at this point, what would you say you find most inspiring today?
I would say that what I find most inspiring today is I see women empowering women in technology. And why I say that is because in my experience, for when I incorporated digital forensics now in 2017, it was primarily a male. It was a dominated male industry.
Mm-hmm.
And now I see that are being trailblazers. They are breaking barriers. I see organizations that are helping women and minorities advance their careers, offer scholarships, and that is inspiring. And I would love to see how it continues to be, because being that digital forensics now is the first minority woman owned company that offers digital forensics and cybersecurity services, it's empowering to see other women get out of their comfort zone and take that leap. And whether it's to scale their career, but they're doing it in the technology industry, and that is very inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I've been very fortunate to, through this program of interviewing business owners and for the Business Spotlight segment, I've had such a great privilege to interview so many women in tech, and there's so many young girls. I mean, women.
Yeah.
I mean, I call them girls just because they're younger, but they're just really amazing, and they're so brilliant too. And I'm really excited for them and the future that they have ahead of them, and that they're creating a really good base and ground for others to follow. So I think that that's really awesome. So kudos on you for that too.
Thank you.
What would you say to anyone who's starting uh, a business or thinking of starting a business? Advice.
Sure. I would, in my experience, I've seen that networking and getting involved in the community is critical. Um, you just have to get out of your comfort zone and go to these meetings, luncheons, become a trustee of many organizations, step out of your comfort zone, go meet people, build relationships. I think as a business owner, that's very important, because not only do you get the opportunity to brand your company, but also yourself. And you build great relationships. You meet good people that it's not that you're going in and the first person you meet they're going to give you work. You can't go in with that mindset. You got to go in with the mindset that you're growing your net worth for it to become your net worth. That's for me, that's been my mindset now that I had to transition from working for an employer to being a business owner. So being involved in the community, giving back, I've been able to research and look into who my audience is and be able to come up with better solutions for them. So to be able to meet and help the community.
Yeah. So would you say that your I don't know why I started thinking about this, but So you mentioned in the beginning that I suppose that most of your clients are from the legal sphere. Is that your main target audience, like your main client?
So that's a great question. And so primarily when I incorporated digital forensics now, its core competency was digital forensics for law firms, for investigations purposes of litigation proceedings.
Mhm.
But it grew from there. And then we got into investigating cyber attacks or breaches. And there we still have to deal with attorneys. So investigating cyber attacks for businesses has also linked us with attorneys.
Mm.
So whether we're investigating for a law firm or we're investigating for a business, a lawyer is always there. So I would say that primarily, yes, all our business is working with attorneys.
Excellent. So I know a lot of attorneys, so I'll definitely be sending them your way in case they
Oh,
need
thank you.
it.
Thank you.
It just so happens that yeah, when I started when I started coaching, when I started my practice, I started with my first client was an attorney, and then ever since then it's just become like that's most of who I work with. But aside from other businesses, obviously, but the majority or the core competency of my business is attorney. So I definitely think that would be really awesome to
Yeah.
have you to refer to.
Yeah,
Um,
no, and then I'd like to add is just that I understand them because I worked with them for
mm,
20 years. So I understand the pressure that they're under. I understand the need of the services now because they're constantly working
yeah,
and they have a case to solve within a time period. So being timely and responsive is so important in my company because it's dealing with primarily with attorneys.
yeah, that they need things done yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Awesome. So one last question. What advice would you give the 18-year-old version of you? If you were to go back in time and you could see yourself, time travel, let's call it, and then just see yourself, you would say, and you're 18 and you're like, listen, whatever you do, XYZ. Either, positive, negative, whatever it may be.
If I would, okay, if I had to go back to 18, I I would have definitely finished law school. That I would have done. It's just an additional degree to have under. So the more knowledge you have, the better position you are every time you're going to do a business transaction or anything like that, or you're applying for a position somewhere. But what I know now, if I knew at 18, I would have taken the leap of faith and gone on my own since then.
Hmm.
And I say that because when I took that leap of faith back when I incorporated digital forensics now, I left a high paying job to venture into this uncertain. And in the beginning, I single-handed lead sales, performed forensics investigations, testified in court, and fulfilled many other business functions, right? But if I had to start all over and I'm 18, I would have taken that leap and become a business owner.
Hmm.
Whether the business would have succeeded or not, I don't know because I didn't have the wisdom but I would have found maybe perhaps a mentor or coaching, somebody that would coach me. But I would definitely go on my own since I was 18. I think working for your own allows you to grow in so many ways.
Yeah.
It does. It brings a lot of pleasure, but it also brings a lot of challenges, but it helps you become more of a problem solver. And perhaps maybe because I have that mindset of that investigative mindset. So I'm always solving cases, but it just allows you to have a lot more freedom and explore many other things versus when I've worked, although don't get me wrong, I've had a beautiful journey. I've worked with many attorneys, many people that have helped me, mentor me, and I've had family support. My journey has been great. But if I were to go back to 18, and even though I don't have the wisdom I have now, it would have been great if I would have immediately. I definitely finished my education, but gone on my own.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that you said something that is key. I think it's, you know, the challenges that come with business ownership. And we touched upon it earlier as well. It's the lessons that come from those challenges that allow you grow, and then because you grow, then your business grows. Because I truly believe in that it's everything that we do or that we are is a reflection of the external, right? So if the external is if you're growing, then the external is growing. It's kind of like the mirror image of you, and vice
Right.
versa. Sometimes it's the opposite, right? Like if you see the outside, you can see what's going on in the inside. So it's good. At any rate, so it's fantastic that you've had such a trajectory, and good advice. I think that business ownership, like you said, is can be challenging, and it's not
Sure.
always. What I think it's also important to note is that there's always a story behind every success, right? I mean, it didn't just
Oh,
happen
absolutely.
overnight. I mean, how many
Yes.
tries has Elon Musk had in order to have a success, right? I mean,
Yes. Yes. You have to you have to learn to not accept and take a no. If no didn't, if one door closes, there's another door that's going to open, and you have to consistently show up with hard work, and it will pay off. You
mhm,
have to put in the time to get to where you want to go.
right.
And it's just my career has been definitely a great journey. I've had the opportunity to work brilliant people and had good mentors, and I still wouldn't change it for anything in the world to have gone on my own.
Yeah,
I wish I would have done it sooner.
yeah. That's excellent advice. Thank you so much for your time, Jovianna. Sorry. I was I wanted to just ask you one last thing. Is there anything else that you would like to tell our audience before we wrap up?
My last advice would be, and has worked for me, is to take an inventory of where you're at and where you're headed. To consistently be taking an inventory of where you're at and where you're headed, so that you set goals and you take a path, you forge your path, and it's okay to break barriers. It's okay to be the only woman in a boardroom speaking. It's okay. Step out of your comfort zone and just go for it.
Hmm. Great advice. Thank you so much again for your time this morning. And I look forward to seeing more of you in the future. And we will definitely include your information, your website, and so on in the newsletters and in the video captions as well, so that so that people know where to find you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me again. It
Thank
was really
you.
an honor. All
Yes,
right. Bye.
take care.